Welcome to Taking the Credit, episode number 79. Wow. Yeah. Nice. We're almost at episode 80. It has been quite a roller coaster of a week. I was going to say a great week, but Monday was pretty messed up with what happened in Boulder.
Yeah. Our personal lives, it's been a nice week, but...
Yeah. We should probably address that, and I guess just historically for us as ourselves, and if we have accidental children at some time.
I was just talking to one of my coworkers, and she, because she wanted to send me stuff about Hawaii vacation, like fun things to do. She's like, are you on Instagram? I was like, no. And then I was like, ooh, I could share this Instagram with you though. And that's why I ended up posting, because I was like looking at it. But anyways, I mentioned to her, like, it's going to be so nice to look at this someday when we're old and we can watch ourselves talk about things and whatever. But anyways, to what you were saying, historical things, and like, yeah, I would definitely talk about it.
But also, yeah, I mean, I don't want to discount what you're saying, because yes, I feel the same way. It'll be exciting someday to look back on this and be able to reflect and see how we were.
I'll be old and wrinkly and I'll be like, dang it, Kirsten, why didn't you use moisturizer before you turned 30 or whatever? And it'll be,
Me too. I'll look back at my hands and it'll be awful. So
I'm gonna have the
decolletage. Yes, we learned about decolletage. Well, Kirsten learned about decolletage this week
from not putting on sunscreen. Yes.
Yeah. From watching 90 Day Fiancé.
That was good.
Yeah. So anyway, I guess maybe an inappropriate time to bring up decolletage or hit the Taco Bell sound effect on the soundboard. But the reality is there was a shooting in Boulder on Monday. It is now Saturday. And we live not too far from there in all reality.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a shooting. I guess not all of the information is out there. What we know is the shooter is a 21-year-old guy
who grew up in Arvada.
From Arvada.
Mentally unstable.
He purchased the AR-15
a couple days before,
a few days before, and killed 10 people in a grocery store. And I've been in that grocery store. It's certainly not at all like in our neighborhood. I guess when I moved here, it was a lot closer to where I was when I was staying with my stepbrother.
Mm-hmm.
But it is the same chain grocery store that we go to here in town. And so, I mean, I guess that's not as important as to say that it's just seems really random.
Yeah.
I mean, there has to be mental health issues that lead to something like that, because it's impossible for a completely, sober-minded individual to even fathom doing something like that, and it, to purchase it and then a few days later to do this act means that it's premeditated.
Yeah.
So hard to rationalize what happened, hard to try to even figure out what happened. But yeah, 10 people were killed, and it's been pretty challenging, I guess, trying to make any sense of it, because it just doesn't make sense. But I had brought this up in groups this weekend, just as like, I mean, everybody has feelings about it because it's so close to home, and it affects, like, if you go to the store, suddenly your head's more on a swivel, you feel uncomfortable, even if it's not at a grocery store. Still, just like being in public, it's makes you think. So it's been a bit uncomfortable in that way. And I found this quote that I brought up as a talking point from Elie Wiesel, who he's a Holocaust survivor and undoubtedly experienced horror and violence and saw all sorts of tragedy. But the quote paraphrased something like, violence is a form of communication for people who cannot find the words. And yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I feel like that could go either way, though.
what do
Like
you
on
mean?
a-
I mean, I'm
like-
not going to discount whatever. It's a
no,
confusing thing.
it is. Yeah, that's a heavy quote. I feel like, because silence doesn't have to be violence. You know, like not being able to find the words. You know what I mean? Doesn't result in.
Sure, and I agree.
But the backstory coming from like a terrible previous lifetime.
Yeah,
Like that. Yeah.
And he's a writer.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, that's, I suppose that was his way of making sense, or as much sense of it as he could. And
that's fair.
with that said, it's not an excuse. It's not a justification. It's still just as confusing.
Yeah.
And even if we knew exactly why, it's still confusing, and it's still hurtful and challenging. So, and I preface that when I brought it up, like, I'm not looking for somebody to agree or disagree or really have any firm
just
thoughts.
to make
It's
you
just,
think.
yeah. And so, like, yeah, you know, maybe that resonates with people who have experienced extreme bullying, or
Getting robbed at gunpoint.
or, you know, sharing feelings with people who they care about, and those people don't really listen or don't really empathize or provide feedback, or just not feeling comfortable enough to talk about issues, or, you know, the stigma of mental health services still definitely exists. So I don't know. I mean, I didn't know the person, and even though I didn't know any of the victims, it's still awful, you know. And I mean, I feel like fortunate, maybe lucky, that I don't know anyone.
It's interesting though, because like my mom was on a work call, and like one of her coworkers like worked with one of those ladies, because one of them was like a medical like intake type of person. I think there was something like she worked with like the, what is it, like the Medicare or whatever. What is that?
And insurance?
Yeah. Like I don't know exactly, and I don't want to misquote, but like she worked in the medical world, and so one of the ladies knew her, and then another one of the ladies that died was surprisingly, like, I mean, not surprisingly, but like she worked for my company in a sense. And like I remember Lori telling me that. I was like, wow. So I mean, like, it doesn't have an effect on me, because I didn't know them. Obviously it's still sad and everything, but like it's crazy to think that like it was so close, and there are different instances around me where people actually knew these people.
Right.
So it's like, that's what makes it more like, and I don't know how to phrase this, but like just like a week or less ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, there was like a guy that shot up a bunch of massage parlors
in Atlanta.
Yeah. And I feel like I haven't talked about that much with anyone, or it hasn't been brought up in conversation. That doesn't mean that it's not sad and not horrible, but like having something happen so close, it is almost a little more traumatizing. Like,
definitely. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot easier for us to not necessarily discount or diminish, but not feel as concerned for the stuff that happens. You know, I guess if we think about it in a large scale, there are certainly countries in this world where this stuff happens every day.
Yeah.
And luckily we don't live in that situation, so it doesn't affect us in the same way. And I know that we have people who listen to this who live in Russia and Ireland and Australia and, you know, Vietnam, stuff like that. And like, maybe this doesn't happen in your neck of the woods as often either. Or on the flip side, when it does happen all the time, or you grew up in a place that was really violent, you can become somewhat desensitized to it. So everybody's going to feel different about it.
Yeah.
The level of trauma or grief will change based on, you know, how you cope with it, or did you know somebody who is a victim in it, or just knowing a person who knows a person. Yeah, it's a ripple effect, and it can bring you that much closer to that like uncomfortable uncertainty. And I mean, what I've found about a lot of issues, a lot of struggle issues that we have in this culture are based around not having control. And maybe that's like anxiety, where you just like lose control and your body takes over with this incredibly uncomfortable sensation. Maybe then that's one example. Or like feeling like you have to have a substance, like you have to do a drug because that drug has control over you. Or just like not knowing if next week you'll lose your job. Not having the control, feeling that discomfort. It's really hard for people. So suddenly, like, not knowing if going to the store will be the last time you go to a store is like, it's really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I guess we've had that with, there was the shooting at a concert in Paris. There was the shooting in Arvada in the movie theater. You know, I mean, sure, technology advanced, but I would argue that ticket sales for movie theaters probably dropped
went down, at least for a while.
Yeah, if not like since
Forever.
then.
I remember going to see a movie like shortly after that, which I don't know why I would, but I remember getting freaked out because we were in the movie theater. I think it was my mom and I maybe. And then two people randomly walked in like middle of the movie and sat like in the front left two seats, like in the very front. And I was like, that is sketchy. And I think I got up and walked out and talked to people in concessions and I'm like, did these people like randomly like that? And they were like, well, we'll check on it or whatever. But I mean, people think about that now.
Right.
Like I went to the grocery store earlier this week and it was honestly, it was kind of weird because there was a lot less women in the store. I feel like it was a lot of men and everyone was very distant. Like it was very calm and I feel like no one was making eye contact. No one was saying like, excuse me or whatever, like getting through the aisles when they were next to each other, but it's very quiet. They had a little like memorial thing set up in there too. I was like, it's sad, but yeah, because we shop at King Soopers.
Yeah. I was at the one on Main Street with a client earlier this week. And like I wore one of the nice jackets you got me, which was a long jacket. And I mean, maybe I'm projecting or just believing something that's not true, but I definitely felt like people were looking at me more.
Because of your long jacket?
Possibly. Maybe I'm just thinking this up because I never really paid as much to other people.
Yeah, that could be.
But either way, it's like...
Now you're paying more attention because you're a little...
Mm-hmm. And I can't blame people either, for feeling uncomfortable. Right. And then I have this like overcoat.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It's been weird. It's only been a few days and like, I don't know. I still don't think we have a lot of the answers that we would like to have about this situation, but...
That makes me think because like we went out today and I didn't think about like concealed carrying or anything. But when I went to the store earlier this week, I for sure was like, just in case. I think about that a lot too, though, is like, I don't think it comes up very often in the news, but like people that actually do conceal carry, but like are mentally stable people where it's like they don't have bad intentions with a gun, but like actually someone that is ready with a gun, like taking down the bad guy. I feel like I've seen it maybe once or twice in the news in my entire life or something. Like obviously you have cops with guns, but like a whole, just like a good Samaritan in a sense. Like, and I don't like to think like what if, because obviously everything has happened and there's nothing we can do at this point to change, going forward. I'm sure there'll be hopefully, I mean like maybe stricter gun laws, people that are a little more crazy or just doing some sort of better check to keep that from happening. But
the process to get one should be harder.
But like what if someone, and I don't, not even like what if, sorry, I won't like change that situation, but like if someone did have a gun in like a situation like that where someone's going crazy and like you are able to take them out,
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to unpack there too. And it's hard to have this conversation without being like divisive in some way, because there are going to be people who are like totally against it. But yeah, you're right. You don't hear about it that much because I don't know how realistic it is. Certainly there are people who like fend off carjackers or stuff like that, where it's like a one-on-one situation and they use that. But like
someone that's harming potentially multiple people's lives that you don't know what they're doing. You know?
I mean, I've gone to, it's been a while. I've gone to the range and like decent shot, but also the target's not moving.
Sure.
And I'm not getting shot at or fearing for my life.
Right.
So I tried to put myself in that situation, and I think if I were in that situation and concealed carrying, I would still run.
I like to think that I would fight back, but that's because also like, I don't know. I feel like this is like too much to just, but I have been up, you know, like we talked about this, like where it's like someone's holding a gun at you, like, you know, give me the money, whatever. And like in that situation, I thought I was going to pee my pants and I just don't remember. I paced around, which is funny because like thinking back on that, that was probably a bad idea. Like if they think I'm like doing something and like, I don't know, but I like to think that I'm like mentally aware that that could happen because it has come up so many times where people do just randomly start shooting, that I could wrap my mind around it quick enough to try and like defend myself or people. But like you mentioned, it's really hard to tell if you're not in the moment. And it's like watching scary movies. Like, why did you do that? Why did you do that? Like, obviously that's staged, but I still like to think that in the moment, if something was happening, like, and I'm more aware now, like you said, like when I go to the grocery store, at least recently, maybe it'll go away eventually, but like just knowing that that just happened, very focused on my surroundings. Like, I don't know.
It's really impossible to truly say, you know, and like there's no real training for going through that. But like the person has a rifle, it's so much easier to aim and shoot a rifle and hit a target far away than it is to pull out a pistol that you could conceal and then like, you know, fight back. And maybe that depends, but then in my head, not necessarily something that I think I would be cognizant of in the moment, but something worth being thoughtful about is like, who's to say that you're not going to shoot at the person and hit somebody else?
Yeah.
And then who's to say that you shoot the person, the cops come in, they see you with a gun, and they shoot you.
That's fair. But then, so I get upset because, like, Jude smelling the plants. And sorry, I wasn't giggling when you were talking. She was like drinking her water, and it was like wappy sappy all over the place.
Yeah,
but
I get it.
Yeah, no, I'm like always just like amazed at the fact that people like the shooters get out of these situations alive.
Yeah.
This just goes back to like a whole everything that's been going on in the last year. Like, how is it that black people just get shot for not doing anything or get killed, and then like a white guy is shooting at people and he gets put to the hospital, or he's in the hospital because he's got like a gun. Yeah, that's crazy. Like you know, when we were watching that and like trying to figure out what was going on when it was live, I was like, I hope they killed him. Like, I hope they got him. Like, cause like, why would anyone deserve to live, you know, like after killing 10 people? That's just insane.
Right. And I wonder too, you know, like, I don't know the ins and outs of the criminal justice system, but from what I hear, like rumor mill is like, sexual predators do not do well in prison. Like other inmates wish to harm, you know, people like that. But does somebody who, you know, committed mass murder and shot a cop, is he suddenly going to be like the cool kid in prison? You know, I don't know. Yeah. And I mean, there's so many things that depend, but yeah, I agree. It's crazy to think that you can, like, does he just run out of ammo and put his arms up and suddenly they're like, okay, let's take him in. You know? And then they must have stripped his clothes off because he came out in his boxers. Yeah. Probably checking for a bomb or something. Yeah. I don't know. It's confusing, but I think you make a valid point. Like, we've seen a lot of instances of black people being killed over way less, you know?
Yeah.
So
it's insane. Yeah. I was really hoping that he would get shot.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to get the answers that we're looking for, even though he's been detained and whatnot. And even on like the news when they showed that helicopter footage of them bringing the guy out. And
yeah, we were like, that's him.
like,
Is that him?
yeah, they're like, he's in handcuffs, but we don't have any confirmed evidence to state that this is the shooter. And yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
I went to school in Louisville, which is very close, but I wonder if there's like people that I went to school with that might have younger siblings that were like, you know, played games first, you know, the school or whatever, like went to different schools, that there would be some like weird connection in a sense to like knowing that person.
I talked to somebody this morning who played basketball against him.
Yeah. See, so weird. That's so weird. It's so close. That's the creepy thing. But like I was just saying the other day, like listening to what people had to say about him that knew him, like it's so concerning to know that you can think someone wants to kill people because they'll flat out say, I'm going to kill people, because apparently he said he was going to kill people in high school or something. But then nothing happens. Like he's not getting help. He's not, you know, locked up, or like it's just.
You can report people like that, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to have any sort of follow up on, you know, punishment or something. But that's also, you know, to raise another question, like if he were black and, you know, made the same threats, would this be different? And I guess there's some stuff that I'm hesitant to go into because I know it's divisive, but really when it comes down to like racism and stuff, I think that's pretty cut and dry. Like I don't necessarily need to worry about how people are going to take my take on racism, because it's like, this just exists. Yeah. You know, gun control or whatever, you can have your own opinions. I don't need to get in between that, but like, to think that this country doesn't experience racism or whatever, you know, that's not even an argument. It's just, it is the case. So yeah, I don't know. I don't have any answers. I'm not trying to say that I know what to do or know what he did. And, you know, like even I try to empathize with everybody. Even that's a real struggle in this situation. Like I don't even know if I want to try to empathize with this, you know. Obviously it's a mental health issue, so that part I understand. Somebody actually brought up a great point today. In you know, I've worked with older folks for quite a while, not necessarily like hands-on care, but arranging services, stuff like that. And dementia, this
is the guy that brought us food last night. Sorry.
I don't know. Dementia is a real thing, and you can have your grandparent, grandma, grandpa, be like the sweetest person ever. They're at all of your games. They always support you. And then, you know, dementia kicks in and suddenly they're a totally different person. Yeah. And like you can try to hug them and they feel like you're attacking them, or you know, you try to help them and they feel like you're imprisoning them or something. You know, it's just like it completely destroys their cognition and ability to function as the person that they once were. So like, is it possible that there can be forms of this with not necessarily dementia, but like, is there mental illness that exists that does that to people, but we just don't really think about it in that way? Like, did this person think that like people who were trying to help him were like
trying to hurt him or something?
Yeah. I mean, and that's a real thing for dementia, and we accept that for older folks. And like memory care units are living like a section of maybe not assisted, sometimes assisted living, but mostly like nursing facilities. It's a section of that where it's literally locked. They can't come in or leave. So like, it's kind of like jail, but that's an accepted thing. They just call it a memory care unit, and that's people who have dementia. And you know, so like, I don't know, we've figured it out.
My great grandpa on my mom's side, I believe, had dementia.
Yeah, could be. A lot of older people do. And yeah, I
Not me,
mean,
though. Just watch. I won't have dementia because I will watch these videos over and over again as I get older.
yeah,
So I'll
50
always
first dates.
remember.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I don't mean to like take up our whole podcast talking about this. I just felt like, for the sake of historical telling our own selves, our family, how we felt in this moment, it was worthwhile to address this. But
This is super random, and this just made me think. And like, as far as just like recording things, and apparently it was a couple of years ago. There was like a mom and her son that went skydiving, and then they were like filming beforehand, and he was like talking about like how scared he was, but like, if I die, blah blah blah, and like he actually did die. Like the parachutes didn't work. The guy that he jumped with was actually not certified, trained, or something. And then like they just had that video of him beforehand. Like, it's weird to think that happens. Like, you could record or say something that's on file, documented, and then something awful could happen.
Yeah.
Like, I could be sitting here talking about, if I was in this situation, I'd have my gun and I would shoot someone, and then like say something bad happens and all of a sudden I'm dead, and like, you know what I mean? Like, it's weird to think about, but we record every week. So realistically, if something bad happened, it's kind of like, meh, we just do this all the time anyways.
I mean, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I also, I mean, it's
Nothing
different.
bad's gonna
It's not
happen.
like
I know.
such a coincidence thing like the skydiving thing, but also
You're skydiving, so
I mean, that's an innate risk. And yeah, I mean, random acts can happen all the time. I once, for a very brief stint, I wasn't good at it because I didn't like being salesy, but I worked as a life insurance salesperson, and that's like the whole thing is like trying to help people understand that tomorrow's not necessarily guaranteed as much as we like to think it is.
yeah.
Anything can happen. So that's like the whole selling point of insurance, life insurance anyway. But yeah, it's weird, definitely. But at least, this video will exist longer than we will.
Creepy.
Yeah. It's just the reality. It's technology. And so, yeah, anyway.
That was a rough Monday, but the rest of the week for us personally was fairly decent.
Yeah. Moving on for sure. I definitely just wanted to make sure that it's, something that we addressed. But yeah, the rest of the week was much better. I mean, certainly, as a mental health professional, I tried to help a lot of people work through stress related to the incident that happened on Monday. But outside of so much of this week being focused around that, it's been a good week.
Sorry, do my arms look big? I wanted to flex earlier, but we were talking about serious things. So.
Yeah, it's nice. You look great. Yeah. Been working out a lot harder.
Yes.
Shedding some pounds. Eating. I've been eating better. You already eat well. That's what I was trying to say.
No, I don't. No, I don't eat well. I feel kind of... I didn't do cardio today. I've been doing cardio every day with my workouts, but I feel I'm kind of flabby.
I've been eating better and doing more intense cardio, which has been helping. The return to Shred City begins. Yeah.
I cleaned yesterday.
Yes, you did.
I
so awesome too.
Deep cleaned. Well, it was like a like half deep clean, because deep cleaning would be like if I washed the couch covers and like the baseboards and everything. Like I did definitely do some of that, but it definitely wasn't like I was scrubbing the floors or anything. But I got like a lot of the spots that we don't get with our normal cleaning.
Yeah.
Like behind the oven.
Yeah, I mean, based on our normal cleaning routine,
it was above and beyond.
This was a deep cleaning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was fun. It was good. It felt good. The living room looks great. Moved a couple of things around, so it's like really open, it feels like now. Just moving that like little shelf thing like that, I feel like it opened it up significantly.
For sure. And it looks good.
Yeah. No, I like it over there. And putting the lamp out there too from...
Sorry. That light just turned off.
Oh.
I'll get it.
But yeah. No, putting the lamp out there from our bedroom, which is kind of like a gold, gives off like a gold glow, which I like the cooler colors. And I did buy another lamp for our bedroom.
Oh, did you? I didn't know that piece.
Oh, well, sorry. But no, it's cool. I'll show you a picture of it because it was cheaper than that one for sure. And like, I actually bought a lamp, I would say like over a month ago that it was a fox, but it looked like Jude. And I was like, wow, this is cute. So it's like a fox, and that's like the lamp post is like, and it's a table lamp, like the fox is looking up, and then there's the lampshade, and then up at the very top of the lamp there's like a little butterfly, so it kind of looks like the dog fox thing is looking at the butterfly. But for some reason, like, I have placed orders since and before and after, like I bought this from Anthropology, I got an email saying that like my payment method like was rejected or something. Yeah, and then it was an email and I didn't know how to fix it. So I like logged onto my account, I clicked on it, there was like nowhere to update it, and I was like, I think this just means it's not meant to be. And so I just let it get canceled. But then instead I got this other cool little lamp thing.
That's fair. Is it like, did you have to get a new card recently? Because I had to.
No, that's the thing, is like there was no reason for it. Like I don't not have money. Like I had very much sufficient funds, so I don't know why it was canceled. But that item in particular was on back order. Like it's been on back order. Like they sell out super fast. So I don't know if there's just like, I don't know, maybe it tried to run my card at the wrong time or something. I don't know. But because I recently, what was it? I tried to buy something. It was that hair product stuff. And remember, it like rejected it. But like
whack.
there was nothing. Yeah, that was super weird.
Thanks a
and
lot,
then
J-Lo.
yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so I feel like recently I had like an issue with that too. I don't know. But anyways, I got like a cool new lamp, and I bought some plants today.
Yeah.
We are them hipsters now.
Yeah, that was weird.
Plants.
Kirsten bought this hair product, and they were saying that they had to save her card information.
Oh yeah, and then they were like, "Sure, we'll get rid of it," and then they never did. It was still there. They're like, "We took care of it." I know, this is super cool. Let me find some like the images that people shared.
Super whack. She was like, "Please delete my card information from your."
They said,
website.
yeah, and they're all like, "Well, we can't do that because we use this other like vendor or whatever for this." And
Stripe, which like shouldn't mean that you have to.
Yeah, and
That's pretty neat.
They were like, "No, you can delete your card. That's how you get rid of it from, our database." And I was like, I use this card for like all of my bills. Like, how would that make sense to just delete the card or, get rid of the card? But anyways, I logged in, it's still there. So whatever, it's fine. If they say it's secure, it's secure. But I really just
still whack.
Yeah, so whack.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, good stuff. I made some purchases this week. It's been a long time since I bought some stuff. Can I talk about
my plants really quick? Sorry.
Oh yeah.
We talked about it, but I didn't get into it.
Yeah, we touched
on
it.
Monstera or whatever, I don't know how to pronounce it, and then one of those snake plants, which you don't need a lot to let them survive. But then again, we have an aloe plant, which also doesn't take much, and that's on the verge of death.
Yeah.
So,
historically, me not bringing Kirsten into this, but I've been awful at keeping plants alive, including succulents.
Okay.
So, yeah.
But I'm very confident.
Rose bush was that was a tough one.
The tree, plant thing.
Yeah.
That was messed up because it lived at the flower bin, which is like a nursery thing over here, and like when we got those, it was humid in there. Like they had like special conditions in different areas for the plants, and that one grows naturally in Florida, the tree thing. So like of course it was gonna die.
These aren't Colorado plants either.
No, but these this is common house plant. They're meant to be inside.
Okay.
So like it's not like they're gonna get humidity or anything, and they only take a little bit of water, and you can tell because when they start drooping, that's when they need water. Like it's very basic care. The only thing I would like to do is repot it, because that's like the whatever pot that we got it from, and if I want those Monstera ones to get big, they'll need more room to grow.
Sure.
The snake ones, that's fine. Apparently those have like a 5 to 10 lifespan or something, which I didn't know plants. I thought they could just live forever.
5 to 10 life
years.
Oh, yeah. I guess I wouldn't think they could live forever.
I don't know. But those Monstera ones, like we've got like the baby leaves, but they get like
big bin over here.
I know, but that's Nick's. I'm not going to touch it.
Yeah, but there's nothing in it.
I know, but I'm not going to touch it because apparently having coolers in the living room is
that what he said he wanted?
I asked. I know it's funny because like he came in and I felt bad because I'd used like half that bottle of spray from cleaning everything. And I was like, oh, just a heads up, I've been using this. I'll replace it. So next time I go to the store, I'll get some. I have not forgotten about that and I won't. But then there's been a cooler in our living room.
Yeah.
I put it by the back door because I asked you, I'm going to put this outside. And you were like, I don't know. It's not mine. And I just thought that that would make sense. Maybe put it in the garage. And then I asked him about that. I was like, oh, yeah, I moved the cooler back there for now. Wasn't sure if you wanted that in the living room or, and he's like, yeah, pretty much. He said that he's going to keep it in here until like summer and then I'll put it in the back of his car again. But like, I doubt that's going to happen.
I don't understand it either.
I know.
But,
like,
whatever.
I kind of laughed and I was like, yeah, it makes a nice side table, but it doesn't. It's a cooler. It's a cooler that you take like camping or hiking or whatever.
It's just a cooler sitting in our living room.
But it's there. I mean, like I can't.
It's his way of fighting back, probably. You know, we've got this whole room. With that said, hopefully by our next episode, we will have a new setup.
I'm so excited because that's going to like really go along with the deep cleaning because this room is very cluttered right now.
Yeah.
And we are going to, should we talk about what
it's a lot of my story to record stuff.
And this is what you're going to get into this. You're buying things, right? The chairs.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of it for sure. Thank you for bringing me back around. But yeah, honestly, I'd been saving money for quite a while and not necessarily because I'm like, I should save money, but because I was working a lot and actually kind of depressed and didn't have time for anything else that I enjoyed. But over the last week, so I accepted, I think we talked a little bit about that with Jesse and Bailey in the last episode, but shout out to Just Us and sometimes other people. We love them. They're on vacation right now and we sent them not goodies. Posting episodes. So, I think we talked about this with them a little bit, but I accepted a new position, a new work position. That's, I mean, A, it pays better, but B, it's just like...
The food's on the way, so I would just recommend muting.
Sure.
Yeah, go on.
But, or at least people can hear the John. But yeah, so it pays better. It also falls more in line with my personal and professional goals. Shout out to Story to Record. You know, it's working with older adults, and so I get to do that again. So I'm really happy about that, and it made me happy to put in my notice with work, and like even just putting in my notice is kind of like a weight lifted off. Although they wanted me to still, whatever. It was still ended up being a pretty busy work week, but at least like everybody that I saw, it was the last time that I was seeing them. Not that that's like great, because it's actually really hard. It felt like I was
breaking up with
a lot of people and their families and, you know, providers. So
and coworkers.
It was pretty tough, but it felt nice to know that I only had a few more days of it left to go. So getting to today, which is the last day of my work week, you know, 6 days a week. So getting to today, it feels very special. But anyhow,
you're off the next week. Party time.
Yeah, next
pretty much
5 days. Yeah. Party. So, but yeah, so it feels really good, and I knew that I was going to be putting in my notice as of last Saturday. Sunday is really when I talked to my parents, my dad and stepmom, and they were like urging me to take some time for myself before starting this next job, which was excellent advice. But even just, you know, knowing that I was going to put in a notice helped me kind of plan, like, I don't know, it just was a huge stress relief. Like, even when I missed the call from the administrator who I spoke with, who, like, I missed the call where they would be offering me this position, I was feeling extremely stressed even just to call back. Like, I feel like work hit me so hard that I couldn't even feel good about good news. So anyway, once I like leaned into it and accepted the good news, it felt so much better. And I was able to I like refocus on things that make me happy. So like I finally bought this piano bench, which was something I had in my Amazon cart for probably a year. Not that it was too expensive to buy, but just, I mean, and then it's like, I have this, and we haven't even gotten our tax returns or stimulus yet. So it's like,
I know. Well,
but I still have,
we got part of our return.
Money.
But see, it feels good to buy things.
But it also, I guess, I mean, I can't speak for you. You buy clothes and things
that I don't need.
It's different. Like, I don't know. I guess maybe it's not
Vacation.
different, but like, yeah, which I'm helping with.
Vacation.
But yeah, I got like
vacation.
that. I got like this dust cover for this, which I'll use once I have.
Is that what that was? Oh, I thought. Okay.
Oh, I got that a little while ago, but nice. Yes, that is a dust cover for this, which was a great purchase as well to save the electronics. But yeah, I mean, I like finally broke down and got this duet piano bench that I wanted for a while and got that, and I'm getting an actual like keyboard stand, which makes me happy.
I knew that was gonna happen.
Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, she's really reaching the limits on here.
Can you hear?
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's ringing in. It's not blowing it out somehow, but
I'll grab it once Nicholas leaves.
Oh, there's our fat girl.
Oh, that's the like
our warning.
She's usually pretty chill, but like when she's asleep and someone comes through the gate, then it's like, oh.
It's after
like
6.
so caught off guard.
She hasn't had her TOOTH. BRUSH. You want your toothbrush, Chan? Yeah, she does. She's a big ham. But yeah, it feels good to spend some money on stuff, and it's not like ridiculous money or money wasted, but like having a purpose and wanting to get things that just improve and make quality of life better, it feels good. So with that, we were talking about reorganizing this room and this table that shakes back and forth, as you can obviously see if you're watching on YouTube. This has been in Kirsten's family for way too long, and there's nothing special about it, but we are going to get rid of it. And what you can't see off camera is like right here is my keyboard. So instead of having that taking up half the table, we'll actually have its own spot for it. And then what we decided is to get some accent chairs and really turn the corner of this room behind me here into the that looks so creepy just because it's blurred out. But yeah, turn this corner into our podcast corner and then free up the rest of the space in this room, so we're not dedicating this whole table in the middle of the room.
I feel like it's gonna make it like a place to chill too, like if you want to sit on a chair and read a book or whatever. Nick used to do that.
We're not. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. He used to do that.
But he has to pay us to use the
chairs. But that's right. That's when, you can't see them right now. I keep saying it, but hopefully eventually I will have the guts to just make the early episodes not private. But we used to have the table used to be up against this wall.
Weird to think about. I was like
long ways up against this wall, and then we had one of our chairs that's now in our living room over here in this corner with the ottoman. So yeah, it was kind of more of a hangout room, but this seems to work better, at least. Yeah. Like,
no, this is good. It
sitting in this way
stores things well.
But yeah, so anyway, got some accent chairs today. We were on the hunt
for a table.
We were on the hunt today.
That's what we wanted.
Yeah, we went to thrift stores, consignment stores, flea markets, looking for a smaller table. But ultimately, it seems to make sense to just, the only thing we really need a table for is to set this audio recorder on. We can go back to using our scissor arm microphone stands and just put the audio recorder on a smaller table and then just sit in comfortable chairs. And that's something I talked about since early episodes, is that we have squeaky chairs here.
There's that podcast that you've been listening to with the guy with the glasses, I feel like.
Rick Glassman.
And they chill on the couch and chairs and stuff, and like I like that idea. Like it's gonna be like cozy.
His podcast is the best. Turn this off right now and check out Take Your Shoes Off. And if he knew about this podcast, he wouldn't care at all because we're not interesting or funny enough. But
that's really rude.
That's okay. I mean,
I'm upset.
I mean, that's okay. I accept it. But yeah, I mean, anyway, it's excellent. The production is so good. But
This
yeah, so it feels good to I mean, I invested in this. We got these microphones. Like, I wanted to step up the production value of this, and really, I feel like the last thing
these
we
fit
could
in
do.
The arm boys?
Yeah.
Do these? Okay.
Because they just screw on
Okay.
here.
Cool.
So yeah, I feel like this is the last thing that we could really do, or that like I could really even do to
I am
like.
So excited to clean this room and like get stuff sorted. Like that's gonna be so nice.
Yeah, it'll feel good and I mean, probably just looking at it outside of
I should probably
seeing my mess right here, it's probably hard to kind of grasp the amount of clutter that's in here. And with that said, like, I know I hit the keyboard. I'm telling you, there's a keyboard here, an 88 key keyboard, but even behind it, like all along here is
wires,
cords lying. Yeah,
little fake canty lights.
There's even a headlamp.
A headlamp? What is that doing there? Batteries.
I don't know.
Cards from places. Paper.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff, and we get to
clean it up. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I organized recently, like our closet.
Yeah.
And like
so
we had
good.
a lot of boxes. I put stuff into bigger boxes.
It's
and
so much better.
And yeah, like the downstairs closet, that's the big long one. Like I put a bunch of clothes down there to store them, like winter clothes. Like that was not too long ago too. I don't know if I talked about that, probably because I was pretty impressed. But yeah, I've been really cleaning things out and sorting.
It's very, very nice what you've done with our closet, because you could hardly even close the closet door before.
Yeah, now it's nice.
And it's just all like stuff we don't need in a closet.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It was like all sorts of stuff. And now we have the little dresser thing in there, which is really nice. I like having more room in our bedroom.
And a giant mirror.
A giant mirror. I love my mirror.
Yeah, it's good. I mean,
my next big impulse buys. Not impulse. I'm going to start storing a couple $100 a month into like a fund towards new dressers. Like I want some sturdy, like ones that are going to last our lifetime dressers. Because I spent a couple $100 at IKEA and got some like brown matching tall and short dresser. But I would like
the short one that you put together and you're like, I'll just drill this hole in right
but
here.
It was off. And now like, it doesn't close all the way. But anyways, I know, and like again, it's really expensive, and I know it's going to be a while, and I'm obsessed with like Anthropologie and Free People, but Anthropologie has some really dope dressers. They're just expensive, and I know like I'm not going to get them anytime soon because I've still got vacation stuff to do, and like it's going to be a while.
Yeah,
but like it will be sooner than later. There's some really cool dressers on Anthropologie.
Some of the stuff that I buy. And even like the chairs that I just bought today that you'll see hopefully by next week in the podcast. I think about like, it'd be kind of nice to like buy stuff like this when we own a home to put it in.
But I'm one step ahead of you because like we have these nice things. So when we do buy a home, we're probably going to not be struggling, but it's going to be like we've got a mortgage to pay.
Yeah, no,
so
I
like
get you.
Having it now makes it feel more comfortable. Like our living room is going to be awesome. Our bedroom is going to be like dope. We're going to have everything we need at that point.
And I guess that was the back end of what I was thinking. I was like, I mean, it doesn't hurt to have it and then just furnish our home with the stuff that we do have. And like even with the garage gym, it's nice that we've had that stuff since 2018. I was watching, shout out to my buddy Bobby, who would probably never listen to this, but Bobby posted a video today of him doing like block press. Like I guess that's like a old powerlifting move where you would have like, I guess you would have somebody who's spotting you like holding a block that sits on your chest, and instead of like lowering the barbell all the way to your chest, you like lower it to the block so it stops a few inches, and then you push back off from there. He was doing it like at a gym, but where they have like those, do you remember how squat racks have like those arm things that jet out from the side? He was just doing it onto those by himself, and I commented on it, but like he was wearing a mask doing it, and I was thinking like that must really suck to have to like go through this whole pandemic, and like I know gyms were closed for a long time, but then to like go back to the gym and have to exercise with your mask on. I'm so glad we don't have to do that, because
I rip it off.
We've had this stuff
like the second I'm out the door.
Yeah.
And like, but they're not great. But I'm glad we have like our home gym and everything.
Yeah.
Got a lot of good stuff. We're set. We're set. We just need the house now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just need the house.
Which we have been saving for, and again, this new position will come with more savings, and the more things that I get, the less things that I feel like I need, which is also awesome. And I think the next thing that I'll probably feel like I need, but also I've thought about this for a long time and could never really justify it, is like not necessarily a gaming PC,
a velvet couch,
but a PC powerful enough to like make video editing take way less time.
Yeah, you should do that sooner than later, because I feel bad. Like I feel like, how much was your laptop? Like $700 or something. Yeah. Like I felt like I was like, wow, this is so exciting. We're getting you a laptop. But then like I could have spent just a couple hundred more and gotten you like a really nice computer. And I feel bad because like now it kind of runs a little slow, and I'm like, I didn't get him a good enough computer. And
part of that is my fault, because when my computer did its last update, I didn't have it plugged into a charger, and it died midway through the update. So suddenly when I turned it on again, there were like files that said they were missing or corrupted. And
weird.
Essentially what I ended up having to do was delete every Adobe everything off of my computer, which whatever, that's not a big deal. Luckily enough, I have Lightroom, the photo editing software that I use. I got that on a disc in 2016 before they moved everything to a digital subscription service. So I can still reinstall that, no problem. The other stuff like Photoshop I don't use, Adobe Premiere I don't use, like it doesn't matter that's deleted off of my computer. So I don't really care that I had to do that, but it's just something that I had to do as a result. And then DaVinci Resolve, which I do use for editing, seemed to be like sucking up a lot of power from the computer. So like that's something I wouldn't have to worry about with the more powerful computer. But also I think a lot of that had to do with like, specifically I was editing the podcast with Jesse and Bailey, and they had like 23 gigs worth of video that they sent to me that was like living in my download folder, blah blah blah. So anyway, I was thinking about that PC when you got me that laptop.
Yeah.
But the laptop makes a lot of sense. Like
easy to use.
I can use it over there. Yeah. And then when I'm done, I can move it back over here and it's out of the way.
Yeah.
I don't have to think about it. But like the PC lives where you set it down. So that is definitely a consideration too. Like I don't want to have to take up more space.
Did you mix orange juice with that?
No, that's just how it came out.
Is that the whole thing?
It was like to here. Yeah.
I know, but that was a whole can?
Yeah.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. So.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so I think this will be like this podcast, it'll be the real test, because I not only did I delete everything from Adobe, I deleted all of those files that were sent to like clear up space on the computer. I deleted a bunch of unnecessary files off of my external hard drive. I updated DaVinci. Did I already say that? Probably first. But anyway, because this will take, there's less files to deal with for our podcast that we just do with us. I'm fingers crossed, but I don't think it's going to be an issue. So like then like if this renders out quickly enough, then it like defeats my perceived need for the PC. So that's why it's just been pushed off and pushed off. So maybe eventually, maybe that's something I can think of like when we move into our own home. But yeah.
In Tennessee.
Yeah, wherever.
Just kidding.
But
Loveland, probably. Or Berthoud.
Ew.
Longmont.
I mean, I don't know.
Houses
We've
here
got
are
a year to think
getting
about it.
expensive. I was just Googling the other day how much you should have to put down on like a $400,000 house. And
40
it's
grand?
Yeah.
10%?
Pretty much it. I mean, I can't do math. Sorry.
That's 10%.
I
do
can't
math.
no, I can't do that. I can't do it.
Yeah, you can.
So what is 20% is 80,000? Is that right?
Oh, I don't know if it works that simply.
Okay.
Maybe it does.
But anyways,
that's when it gets messy. But the tens.
I feel like we could get to 40 grand in a year.
If we got to 40 grand, we could pay off half of a house in Kalamazoo.
Yeah, I know. But like I still have my stock, which is nice. And you are already up to 10 grand. And then I'm going to have a whole year to save a bunch more. So
yeah, and I are paying.
Does it make you worried that I never talk about how much money I have and you're like, I have all this money?
No, I know that you probably don't have as much money.
No, because I went crazy last year.
Yeah.
But I am very much contained now.
But also like before I put a lot of money into Story to Record, like startup things, which makes sense, acquiring equipment and stuff that I don't have to worry about again, but like website development, yada, 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 yada. Last year, I put a lot of money into Story to Record. That's like, you don't really see it. It's not like I bought a piece of furniture or something where it's like, oh,
but still,
there it is.
But that's reasonable. I put a lot of money into things that I don't need.
But I was like floating around the same number in my bank account for a long time. And then I got this job.
Yeah.
And then I stopped buying things because I wasn't feeling good. And then, and so now I'm making more money, hopefully I'll just save more and more. And there's less.
I'll be making more money this year too. Like I've noticed already in my paychecks a pretty big difference, honestly. So I'm excited about that.
That is exciting for sure.
That'll be
good.
And
we'll be sitting in comfortable chairs to talk about it along the way.
That's great. Thank you for buying the chairs.
Yeah.
I'm excited for them. I keep looking at my plants and I love them.
They're good. They need love. Talk to them.
I will talk to them. Should spray them with a little water. I should put the aloe plant next to them so he can feel like
loved,
fresh.
Fresh.
I'm aloe. I'm dying.
This will cure your sunburn.
It reminds me of Kyle and Chelsea when they had an aloe plant, remember? And they said that they thought it was dead. They put it outside and then it came back to life and grew like really big. Remember when we were up there and they showed us their big... Well, yeah.
But I mean, they're awesome and they're having a baby and moving back to Michigan.
Where in Michigan? Are they going to Portage or Kalamazoo?
I would have to imagine. I mean, if you move from here back to Michigan, you could go wherever.
Yeah.
But all of the family...
Did they move yet?
No, they said this summer.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that her family, like, I think she's from the east side of the state. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, his family's all near where my family is. So.
Gotcha. I would imagine that they would move closer towards her family if I had to guess.
It would make sense, but then I would think like if Brian and Chelsea moved back to Michigan, they would probably live... Ew. Sorry. Into your hands.
I'm sorry.
Go wash them. Go wash them. Go wash them. Go wash them, please. You can't sneeze into your hands.
I can't.
Yuck. It's like a first grader move. Ugh. Yeah, I think that if Brian and Chelsea ended up moving back to Michigan, I feel like they would end up moving closer to his parents. I think so. And his parents are both retired, so maybe that has something to do with it, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But they also said that they don't want to move back for any reason, so who knows?
Eavesdropping on those conversations.
Yeah. It's kind of one of those things that's probably hard to say unless you're like actually pregnant, but your mom lives out here and my mom lives in heaven, so
yeah, anywhere nearby.
Yeah. It was nice actually talking with my dad and like having that Zoom call with him,
Yeah,
and he
that's right.
suggested it. That's, yeah, he's awesome, and like just gotten way more awesome. The older I get, the cooler he is. So shout
That's
out to
good.
Randallion the Stallion. Do you want to eat some din din?
Yeah, I'm trying to tell. I like bought unnecessary like how would you call it? Like diet food hunger suppressants or something.
Yeah.
Which I don't know
She
if it
doesn't
would
eat
work.
anyway.
I don't
like,
know, but I just like in my mind I was like, yeah, that sounds great. I was probably drinking when I bought them. But anyways, I took one probably like almost an hour ago, over an hour ago. And I can't tell if this particular happy boozy water went straight to my head or if I'm just like I don't know. I feel
ready to
tired.
eat?
Yeah, I'm ready to eat, but I also woke up randomly at 5:45 today and could not go back to sleep. Couldn't take a nap, nothing. So I've been up really early, and that's like way abnormal for me. So
For you, yes, that is strange.
Yeah, I'm
Definitely,
excited
even
to
just
eat,
to
though.
see you out here this morning, like before I went outside to work out, I was like, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, let's eat some food. And quick shout out to HelloFresh. That's been delicious.
So
like
good.
this week
It's
we
so worth
slayed it and got really good stuff that's like overall pretty healthy, I would say.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, the nice thing what I love about it is I think it's a little expensive per meal because it's like $100 a week for like 5 meals, which, $20 or whatever. But the thing
10
is,
meals because it's yeah.
well,
I
in a
mean,
sense,
yeah, okay.
but the portions are perfect. Like it's so good. Like I tend to like if I'm eating something really good, I'll eat a ton of it. But like it's like this is what you get. Yeah, why did I buy those like hunger suppressants? Like it's I don't know.
How
I'll give
much
them to my
would we?
mom.
And I mean, yeah, you're all like, should I buy these drink shots with HelloFresh or whatever? And it's like,
Those look
no.
kind of fun though. Like I don't know, like a little something.
Yeah, but
Jude's
unnecessary.
like, what are you guys doing?
But how much does lasagna cost or chicken pot pie cost?
Lasagna is like around $35-$40 when you
Okay.
add up all the ingredients. Same chicken pot pie, probably around $35-$40.
And the leftovers aren't as good.
No, yeah. So it's
Yeah.
no, I never like I don't have to justify it really.
Yeah.
It's definitely
It's
worth
good.
it.
It's worth it.
Very good.
So shout out to HelloFresh. If you guys are looking for a small podcast to sponsor, look no
Sponsor
further. Yeah. Anyway, we can wrap this up. Thanks, B. I love you so much.
Love you.
Thank you all for listening. Shout out to Russia. Shout out to Ireland. Shout out to Australia, Vietnam,
Hong Kong,
Hong Kong,
Poland.
Poland, USA. Thank you all for listening. Thanks for watching. Maybe next episode I could do with Mux. I was talking to him about like coming over today, but then that conversation just didn't really pan out. So
I feel like he would be scared of Jude.
no, I meant like me going back.
Oh,
over
okay.
there
You said
probably.
coming over, and I was just like,
Oh, sorry. I meant me going. I just said that weird, but I guess I have the next 5 days off, so
there you go.
maybe
Just
I'll
go.
make it happen. But yeah. Anyway, shout out to you guys. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time.